Hello, what's up? So I was feeling restless and was like, I've been nauseous, like something really wants to come out. And then I took my deck and there were cards basically flying out. So yeah, today's the day. Okay, so Spirit, please talk to me. The card in the middle of the deck will be the card for my next collective reading. So, what do I need to know? What do viewers need to know? One more. Open. Right. All right. So. Actually, I already did a collective reading on this card. This is Demeter, Demetra. But it was in the form of a short message. So, if you feel drawn to this energy and you want to intake as like a small pill, you can also check that on my Instagram. But yeah, now I will take the time to explain her myth, and after that, as per usual, this will be very classical. So myth, group selection, and then one specific message for each and every group. Yeah, thank you. See you at the group selection. Hi, hello, welcome to my channel. So my name is Asia. I do many things, but here today I am going to do a collective tarot reading based on the very quite unique tarot deck that I own, which is called the Delphi Tarot. And so in this method, the energies of ancient Greek mythology, method deities, heroes, whatever, are used to answer certain questions. So in these collective readings, what I do is that I pull out one card from my deck, and then I analyze the card first and foremost from a general perspective, meaning that I tell the myth basically. So first section of the video will be story time, and then these collective readings are also interactive. So you have the option to select a certain chapter and choose which part of the energies. Sorry, just Anubis, my dog, is on an exploring. He's having an exploring moment, and I just needed to check that he wasn't doing anything stupid, because he does. But anyway, and so the interactive part will follow the myth, and first and foremost, you will be called to train and use your intuition to select which group is calling you the most at the moment in time where you decide to watch this video, as these videos are timeless. So the moment where you receive this video is the right moment for you and to receive this message. But you should also do your part here. And so all you have to do to really make the most of these messages, make the most of these readings, is to take the time to feel the energy that comes through from the myth and this card that I'm going to show again, and select which group is yours. Intuition is not vision. Intuition is not like the brightest color or the shape that perhaps your friends would think is the coolest. Like it, okay, quick intuition exercise for when we are going to arrive to the group selection part. Try to look at the objects, because it will be a pick an object as per usual. Most of my videos are with semi-closed eyes. Okay, like you see what's in front of you, but you are not focused on details. You are more focused on energy, and from that point on, you can ask yourself in your mind which one is your group, is your best group. Keep also in mind that you can select more than one group, because you might have messages in more than one group. And also keep in mind that if at one moment in time you have selected one video with one specific group, it is also possible that after some time other messages from other group from the same video will will resonate for you as well. Okay, so this is a little orientation chat. Yeah, my dog is going crazy. Give me a sec. Okay, so let's get into the myth. First and foremost, I want to say that this myth in particular, that this card is represented through there's a super loud airplane passing by. It's represented by the figure of the goddess Demeter, or Demeter, if you if you prefer. Is also known with other myths and is one of the most famous, I guess, especially today, and especially when you look for representation of Greek mythology in pop culture and media, and so and so. First disclaimer about the myth is that you might have heard of it rather under the name of the myth of Persephone, or also Hades and Persephone, because some narratives would rather focus on the relationship of the rulers of the underworld eventually. But in this version that I have, it focuses more on the initial part of the myth and on the reaction of Demeter to the whole dynamic, to the whole situation, and how this affects energetically human life and earth. And yeah, this also showcases a little bit about God's measures, we might say. And then another disclaimer that I really wanted to do is that this myth in particular was the myth that had me starting reading tarot. I was living in Berlin back then, and I was looking for a job. Like I was just unpacking my stuff, and it was really cold. So in Northern Europe during winter, you gotta be built for that, and I'm not. Which is also why I do not live there anymore. But I was really like, my motivation was really high. Like, yes, I'm going to make it. So I spent a few months like really living the simple life, not going out, not overspending, just applying for jobs and researching my environment. And still at some point I would still have some extra time, and when you start digging around the internet and this myth basically found me in this hopeful yet dark period of time. And that's when I started remembering all the myth that I would study when I was a kid, all my understanding of this, and almost simultaneously, like, as soon as I started remembering and absorbing the myth and seeing how other practitioners, spiritual or more clinical, that happened on both sides of the spectrum, would use this myth to explain quite deep and intricate psychological patterns. And so I started integrating this information, I started talking about it around me, and almost simultaneously I received this book with this very same tarot deck. I might start linking the book and tarot deck information in the future, because that might be interesting for somebody, and it's also not that easy to find. I know it was kind of a divine arrangement of things, the fact that this deck in particular arrived to me at that specific time. Anyway, let's start. Alright, so first and foremost, when it comes to this myth, it might be important to first get to know the characters, as there are many involved, and most of them are gods. Like, many gods were involved in this situation, so you can already tell that it was something pretty complicated. So the situation as it is presented here, because of course if you want to go back to the beginning of time, just watch some other of my videos, because I also do that. But this time, in the time frame that it is describing this myth, we are referring to a time where humanity is already quite prospering, like Greek civilizations, still quite ancient, but still relatable from a human point of view. That's my point. And also we are referring to a divine timing where many gods were around, because if we think about Greek mythology, and we go super back in time, the cosmos configuration that we see is something made of a very few giant gods with very basic tasks of energetic maintenance of reality, okay? And then as time progresses, these gods start creating couples, creating families, as well as killing each other, but that's just on the side. because, long story short, we are now referring to a time where, we already have several gods running around. And so some of these gods are, as I was saying, Demeter, who is usually associated with earth, not directly fertility, more like in the physical sense, but more like fertility in the agricultural sense. Okay, so she is responsible for making sure that crops and farms and like everything that sustains human life from a food point of view is okay. Like, yeah. Also nature, like her team, her section of expertise is also in charge with regulating the seasons. Okay, so that's pretty important. So she is the main character in this version of the myth, as her energy is the one that is being analyzed the most, but she is not the main character in the whole dynamic. So other characters, and the other like super duper important character is her daughter. Initially like living under the radar of the other gods, and being presented as a nymph, and she even has another name, like she has two names, like when she is a child she's known as Kore, who basically means young girl or young child or something like that. And after the whole situation, she slowly transitions towards another name, and it's basically this whole situation that will then define the type of goddess that she is going to become. And then another very important character is Hades. Hades is one of the royal triad of gods. So he is brother of Zeus and Poseidon, the three god brothers who took over the Olympus after the reign of the giant gods, who were also their parents. And basically, like, they started a whole revolution. The three brothers joined forces to lead all the other gods available towards revolution. And at the end of the war, they split reality, basically, amongst themselves. And so Zeus basically agreed on his own terms to become king of the gods and to rule over Olympus. And Poseidon was already in love with the sea, apparently, or something like that. And then Hades was like, well, I guess I'm just going to hell. And so he was assigned to ruling the underworld, which is also a very important task, because many things happen in the underworld. I do not have the time to make a whole chapter about it now, but yeah. Fast forward of quite some centuries, and Hades feeling quite alone. Like his two brothers are already in a marriage, happy or not. That's a topic for another day as well. But he doesn't. There are also a whole there's a whole set of chapters that could be open about the consequences of ruling over hell, and how that had an impact on the ability of Hades to wed and have a wife ruling by his side. And it's bothering. But anyway, now that we have all the main characters presented, let's see how they decided to interact in this very specific energetic dynamic. So, we start with the young Persephone, so at this point in time still Kore, who is playing and having fun time with her nymph friends. Like the most widely accepted representation of this scene is a very out in nature type of situation. Like, imagine a whole bunch of beautiful divine ladies swimming in a river and dancing and singing and having fun. And so it is said that Hades sees that, even if he's not really supposed to, because initially at no point in time the young goddess Persephone was meant for him. She was going to take on her mother's legacy and take care of nature and all the cycles of death, birth, growth, coordination between plants and species and so on. But it happens. Like, Hades sees that and he likes what he sees. Like, the legend says that he falls immediately in love with the young Persephone. Like, to a point of madness, to a point of non-reasoning, to a point where he goes against the rules and brings her to the underworld. Now, many versions of how that happens are available around. Some says he cracked open the earth and came out with his chariot of black horses and basically just dragged the young goddess down to the underworld. Other says that she was asleep. Other says that he used deceit. Other that she was kind of willing, and the two basically invented a plan to make it impossible to separate them. But anyway, regardless of which version you feel like it's the truest for you, what happens is that a young spring goddess is brought into the underworld and is being forced to a wedding situation that was not officially agreed upon, was not planned in advance, was not, like, it also had the potential to not be accepted by a very wide number of entities. But what makes it all even more entangled is that eventually the two learn how to go along. I mean, some might say, yeah, Stockholm Syndrome, Divine Edition. It also, like, from a lighter point of view, makes me think of one of those, what's the word, like rom-com movie situation where two people who can't stand each other for some reason get locked into a room together for a unwanted period of time, and eventually learn that they actually like each other and they don't really want to open the door. And so this is what happens. But as I said before, that was not the plan. That was like nobody's plan. And so many are pissed off because the young goddess had prearranged duties with reality in general, with her mother, and also, you know, it's a kidnapping situation, officially speaking. So many have reasons to be unhappy about what's going on. And amongst many, the most pissed off of them all is Demeter, Persephone's mother. Like full mother instinct, what the fuck happened to my baby? And so she starts searching for her daughter all around, and she even, like, first it's by accident, like she starts neglecting her duties, and so we start having dying crops, we start having all of a sudden droughts or catastrophic natural events and stuff of this sort. Then eventually she sends someone to the underworld. I think that should be Hermes, who, if you don't know, is the divine messenger and one of the few beings able to travel between the different dimensions, regardless of their density. Okay. And that's how Demeter finds out that her daughter is in the underworld and is about to get married to the brother of Zeus, who's also seen like some kind of devil. I mean, as I said, he has a job there. He has a purpose there, okay? Still, the underworld is this place that kind of scares everyone, right? So, you know, I don't know. I'm not a mom. I wish I will be blessed with that someday. I'm just trying to imagine, like, if you were a mother of a daughter and you try to imagine like the perfect husband for her. Like, yes, she was probably imagining someone handsome, someone powerful as well. Just you know, not the fucking queen, like king of the underworld. And so there's also that. So as soon as she finds that out, instead of neglecting her work by accident, she starts neglecting that on purpose. Like, I am not okay with this, so I am going to show everybody what happens when Demeter is not happy about what's going on. And that goes to the point where Zeus just has to intervene to stop, like, global catastrophe, basically. And he decides to start negotiating. So Demeter doesn't want to negotiate shit. Like, my daughter was kidnapped, give her back. And the problem is that while Demeter, like, this story is a factangular circus, I swear. While Demeter is negotiating and all right, I just had an idea for the object selection. But anyway, while Demeter is negotiating to bring balance back, her daughter is moving forward to change the balance of everything. And as I was saying, she starts discovering that this Hades guy is like a handsome devil or or something like that. And again, this is a part of the myth where many versions go around. Some say that once again Hades tricked her. He offered her food knowing that if she was going to eat food from the underworld, she was going to have to stay yes or yes. Ouch. Other versions says that eventually, as Persephone found out that even if on surface it looked like actually the two had very compatible personalities, and therefore she decided on her own terms to eat the legendary pomegranate seeds. So if you look, for example, for images of Persephone, she's usually represented with a open pomegranate, because that is like the moment that basically breaks reality and transforms how everything is done. Yeah. But long story short, when Demeter arrives to the underworld, Persephone has already eaten the pomegranate seeds. So she has already signed an energetic contract binding her to the underworld. So Demeter is not having that, and basically she goes on threatening, like, I don't give a fuck, I can be on vacation from tomorrow until next Tuesday in a couple centuries, okay? I have time. I either get something out of this or everybody dies. So Zeus, is trying to be the pacifier for once. He's the one who has to fix everybody else's messes and not the other way around. And eventually they arrive to an agreement. So Persephone and Hades can marry. They can rule the underworld together. But Persephone cannot neglect her duty as goddess of spring. So what happens is that we go from a situation where, yes, we have several gods, but each god is quite in charge and I'm not going to say isolated, but every god has a very quite well-defined department, right? So you might have like the god of love, and then you have like Aphrodite for seduction, and then you have you name them. And so we go from this to another reality where Persephone is now recognized not only as an official goddess, because she was basically being a goddess in the dark for the whole time. Her mother knew she had like super great powers, and that other gods might have tried to either marry her, to use her power, or even to sell her to greater gods so that they could consume her, because that was a very controversial divine practice that is mentioned in other myths as well. So Persephone is not only recognized as an official goddess, she's recognized as ruler of the underworld beside of Hades. So she has her own throne, she has her own crown, she is part of the decision-making process. And not only that, because her role goes on evolving through time, but the first interesting part is that in parallel with being recognized as queen of the underworld, she is also granted the unique permission or capacity to travel between realities, just like the messenger, but she also has the power to modify them. And so basically her divine contract is that she will remain for 6 months, like half of the year she remains with her spouse and taking care of the duty of the underworld, and then for the other half of the year she has to go back to the surface and make sure the spring is up and running, basically. And also because of this moving role, this constantly moving role, she also becomes slowly but steadily a central figure in how the underworld is managed, because she's also said to become a guide for lost souls, because she is the one who is able to move in every direction. So she basically knows all the way, she knows all the doors. And so there are other myths, there are other where she also shows how much of a bitch she can be when she's vengeful. But yeah, if that's something that might interest you, you might look for the beef between Persephone and Aphrodite, and how basically Persephone declared checkmate in 2 moves. Yeah, just keep in mind that we are talking about gods, because there's also death involved, so take some distance. But there are also other myths where she is described as what's the word? I want to say coaching, but it really levels down the role. But yeah, that's also what she does. She does consultation for really desperate and lost souls who resort to wander to the underworld in order to gain knowledge and continue with whatever quest they're on. This wasn't a short video, but that's okay. I'm also wearing my new sundress, so I'm feeling cute enough to be chatty. But finally, I arrived to the end. Which is quite a happy ending. I mean, the underworld doesn't seem that bad. But really though, I am now going to film the group selection, and then as per usual, so you will be able to select one among 4 groups. Each group will have an object associated, and like each group will contain messages that derive from the 4 keywords. I can't do this right. The 4 keywords that you can see surrounding the central figures. Okay, so thank you for being on this journey with me. That was it for the story time. See you at your group. Bye. Hello, so this is the group selection, and it's going to be a pick an object as soon as I manage to stabilize the camera. All right, so for group 1, we are going to have the painting brushes. Group 2 will be the double knives. Group 3, the fire, the lighter. And then group 4 will be the black crown, right? So once again, a view from the upside, I don't know. A bigger view. Group 1, painting brushes. Group 2, knives. 3, lighter. 4, the crown. See you at your respective group. Bye. Hi, group 1. So, if you have chosen the painting brushes, and this is going to be your reading. So, same card for every group, but for you, here it is. Your keyword is this one down here. Let the camera do the camera thing. All right. I guess that the best translation is the hard works. So my dear group 1, you might be wondering whether the fruits of your labor are going to come in, and the short answer is yes. Yes, because like what is shown, and you can also see that from the little image here, is someone who is working really hard, you know, like he has his head down on his crop, working the ground, working the earth, working with the plants, paying attention to details. Like I can't even see this guy's eyes, right? He's just so focused on what he's doing. All I see is this little cute bum bum and his back, right? And like there is still a doubt component in this group. Like you might know that you worked really hard. Like, yes, I know I'm this, okay? I was the one who was sweating. I was the one who was keeping the head down. I know, right? Still, where the fuck are my fruits? And Spirit is saying that not just be patient, but just continue, okay? Because it really talks about the value of quality work. And so rather than worrying about, oh my God, what if my plans never sprout? What if the contract that I have been working never comes through? What if, right? Focus on everything that you have done so far in order to achieve a certain result, okay? So, for example, let's say that you are working on a project and you know that this certain type of project takes a certain amount of time, and these ones you might feeling a little bit thrown off because it is taking more time than usual. We are also going through a very intense and super long and super exhausting Mercury retrograde, so I feel you, okay? Collectively, I think that we are all feeling each other. But still, even if there are delays, even if it is not coming in as fast as you'd like to, Spirit is saying, remember what you know. Like, you know that in order to achieve a certain goal in a certain area, you need to do and complete task A, B, C, D, F, blah, 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 to a certain quality level. Have you done that? If you haven't, check check that, do that, take some time to do that. If you did, still take some time to acknowledge that, like, okay, this is like theoretically what I know has to be done, and practically this is what I've done. So you have the two lists. You need to know to which point they collide. Is this done? Check. Is this done? Check. Is this done? Check. Okay, everything checks out. All I get to do is do it again. Insist. Insist if you know that you took the time to have all the cards ready and set up. Insist on playing. Just that. Just push a little harder, push a little further. It also talks about giving birth. So I don't know if some moms are connecting. This might be like almost time, and it's just like I can't wait anymore. Can this baby just pop out of me, please? And so just the same. I mean, as long as you are keeping your health in check, Spirit is saying just continue preparing yourself for pushing out. And the same goes with a project. Okay, if you have been working in the shadows, working in the dark, which doesn't have to mean that you have been doing bad stuff. It just means that you have been working on the finer details, the smaller intrications of your projects and endeavors. And you might be sick of that. You just want to see your project fly. But and that's okay. That's okay. The Spirit is saying, be patient. Just don't be like lazy patient. Have faith in what you have been doing so far, because it checks. Like from a quality point of view, it checks, and so all you need to do is like dance your dance again. Knowing that the checking point will also come with the result. Like you did a first checkpoint with the quality control, let's say. So again, if we're talking about health issues, like perhaps you have been consulting specialists and they all told you everything is fine, but you're still not seeing the result that you would like to see. But if you are being reassured in terms of everything is fine, you are doing, like, not everything is fine in the it's all butterflies and unicorns type of shit, but in the sense of you are doing everything correctly. Okay. Yeah, just keep doing that. Just keep doing that until you get to the next checkpoint, which would be like seeing that the detailed hard work also checks with the detailed fair and just results. And so that could be a successful contract, that could be successful delivery in general. Okay, this is as per usual. We are reading energy, so this can refer to a whole bunch of situations. It's just the general dynamic that you should see if actually resonates with you and with what's going on. If it doesn't, this was probably not your group. Sorry. You can either log off from this channel, I don't know. Perhaps this is not even your channel, but if it is, you can just stick around and we'll see what is up for the other groups. This was a pretty short message, but yeah, I think I said everything that I needed to say. Just let me double check. All good. Thank you, group 1. If you liked this general collective reading with me, you can subscribe to the channel, you can also follow me on other social media. I post other spiritually related content elsewhere as well. If not, have a great whatever you're gonna have next, and see you next time. Hi, group 2. So if you have chosen the double knives, this is going to be your message. So same card for each and every group. Your specific keyword. Yes, your specific keyword. Don't know how to show. It's this one, right? The sickness. Sorry. So group 2, you might be wondering, why did I choose a group like that whose keyword is the sickness. So you might actually be feeling physically sick at this moment in time, where you are receiving this reading. So that is something like that is one symptom that you can check to see if this is actually your message. Okay, so first things first, because this message really talks about diseases, but it can be like physical disease, but it can also be feeling spiritually down, like really down. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit deeper into that, but first I wanted to explain which are the two main scenarios that are coming through, to see if you can see yourself in at least one. Could be both, could be none. If it's none, it's not your group. Okay, always train your intuition. This looks cool as fuck. Doesn't mean it's like you have to pick it because it's cool. You know what I mean? You have to pick what is useful and the information that is best for you. Right, so I'm going to start with the physical issues scenario. I mean, they both go into a similar direction, but I think it's still good to diversify in this case. Okay, this goes here. Sorry. So, if you're feeling a bit unwell, Spirit is asking you to use this for your good. Like, of course, if we're talking about symptoms that are presenting themselves at super high levels, like out of control, it is not allowing you to perform your, like, the basics of your daily tasks. So you should probably see a doctor to at least be brought back to a state of of functioning and being self-sufficient enough to heal yourself. What is happening here is something that is calling you to learn how to heal yourself. Or if you already are in the habit of healing yourself, you are being called to learn how to heal yourself better. Yeah. And it really directly talks about discovering new therapeutic methods, opening up first and foremost to new therapeutic methods. And since this is my channel, I am going to present some that I have been using for a while, and I have been studying deeper and deeper, especially lately. Like, it refers to simpler self-healing methods, and when I mean simpler, doesn't mean like without any type of effort on your behalf. It means more gentle for the body and more in tune with nature. Okay, so perhaps I don't know, you might want to learn how to self-cleanse your body using certain type of food or certain type of liquids in order to restore yourself quickly, okay? Or you might want to learn how to integrate certain type of herbal complements or supplements into your diet, into your daily life, and see that it actually works. Like, the message that is coming through is that through healing these temporary disease, because it's not, I mean, I did a disclaimer, but it is not directly talking about serious illnesses, okay? It talks about something that is more a transit, okay? And so the spirit is like, the message says that through like by healing this temporary disease, you are also going to learn how to improve your general health on a daily basis. Like, you will see that using this type of herbal, natural, more holistic, I cannot like I cannot pinpoint one remedy in particular. That is something that I could do during a one-on-one session. I also personally work with herbal supplements. Like, the shop is being set up as I speak. But since this is a general reading, I have to keep it general because what might help somebody might be poison for someone else. So each and every one, if you are, even if you are healing from something minor, whenever you are thinking about integrating something new, just take a little time to check what that is, and if you have like underlying health issues, it might be wise to also consult with your specialist first, okay? But yeah, basically this disease, this transitory bad physical time, is going to help you discover a new way to make yourself stronger. So stay strong, drink some tea, whatever it is. I mean, keeping yourself. I mean, something that I can share that is very general, and that I will never get tired to tell the people I work with is keep yourself hydrated, okay? Especially if you are trying to self-cleanse, especially if and perhaps you can't really digest food at this moment in time. At least make sure that you are keeping yourself hydrated. That is like the most important thing that you can do, okay? And then there is also this other group, like this other part of the message that you might resonate with, because these physical ailments could come with a more spiritual bad vibe. I really don't, I really couldn't find a better way to say it. But also it could be possible that you might resonate with just these neighbors. God damn. Like, a quick fun fact, there was one who I thought was cute, and then universe stepped in and was like, girl, please have a closer look, this is who you're dealing with. And yeah, just basically an older fuckboy. And yeah, isn't really isn't really helping maintaining a high vibe, because he isn't handling the rejection in the best way. But we are keeping it cool around here. And so yeah, I was wondering, why am I sharing this? And there is something that is coming through, like a very side message that might be for someone perhaps leaving a situation closer, like similar to this one, meaning that sometimes blockages or delays or even lack of physical strength, lack of motivation to go into a certain direction is actually divinely guided, is actually for the best, because like your mind might feel like, oh yeah, sure, I wanna go in that direction, and then it's just not good for you. You know, it is just not. And yeah, to just take it as it is, you know, mourn the loss if you have to, especially if it was something that is kind of looking appealing from a deep point of view, you know. But at the same time, also take the time to recognize that you haven't really lost anything, because like if you were feeling ready to be in a certain type of situation and then everything around you collapsed and made you step back, it's because the step back was the best step available, okay? But anyway, let's get back to the second part of the message, because I wanted to keep this video short, but I'm realizing that it will probably be not, like the myth was already quite long. But that's okay. I mean, not everything raw is always sushi. Sometimes it's just cold shit. So yeah, I'd rather take the time to analyze and make sure that the message is delivered properly than to rush myself into it, and then I'm delivering shit. Um, so yeah, spiritual type of sickness. You might be also experiencing what is referred to as a dark night of the soul. Okay, like, and yeah, it's basically the equivalent of your own spirit dragging you to the underworld, dragging you to your subconscious, dragging you to your repressed emotions, dragging you to those intense pain that are deep within you, but that is for the purpose to allow you to release that. So if you are feeling like all of a sudden you have stuff from the past, like weird memories, or you start reminiscing certain tricky situations that happened in the past, it might be that perhaps physically you already have left those situations, but your system was never put into a situation where you were able to properly acknowledge what happened, to properly identify what happened, to and therefore to properly feel what happened, to properly feel the pain. Sometimes, like, I don't know, we might be encouraged to feel our emotions and be more open when it comes to positive communication, but in order to maintain a healthy system from a general point of view, we must also express and take out and let our environment absorb, treat, and recycle those bad emotions. Like, it's a stage that cannot be missed in every healing process. Like, you have to feel the pain in order to release the pain. So you might be, like, from a practical point of view, you might be experiencing intense episodes of crying, or I'm basically feeling really down, and it's not because, like, oh my god, you no longer function, or you are broken forever. This is a transit. This is not going to last forever. At some point after the release, there will be Kesha's spirit coming in and be like, tick tock on the clock, but the party non-stop. Like, it's time to get away from hell and go on with your life. But you have to get down for a little bit, okay? Just, keep in mind that it's temporary, and that the purpose of this inner journey is to find knowledge within yourself, is to learn something, is to release the emotions that are basically acting like a cloud in front of your eyes. And I don't know, perhaps there are, like, some things that you don't want to see about someone, and but those things are just the things that you need to see in order to release that someone. And you might not want to release that someone because, like, in your mind, they might have a role, but like, spirit knows best. Like, you might know a lot of things, but if it's not working out, there is probably a reason. And yeah, this might also refer to trauma, okay? Like, let's say you've been through some very harsh stuff, okay? And you have been strong enough to pull yourself away from that, and like, make a new life for yourself. And like, when you are not as aware, like when you are not constantly aware of how trauma acts, it might be confusing as fuck, because you're like, okay, but my life looks fine. I have all of these things. I have like all my needs are met. I am succeeding. Why do I feel so low? Why do I feel so down? And that is because you have been through situations that have pushed you down, perhaps also physically, perhaps also practically. And your first reaction was to act and react to put yourself back up. Now, your system still needs to acknowledge the fact that you have been put down. Your system still needs you, first and foremost, to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, girl, or dude, or bro, whatever you want to call yourself, okay? We've been through some shit. We might need some time to cry about it. And yeah, that's it. But the thing that you also should keep in mind is that these moments of crying are there to help you. You are not going to get stuck in the storm. You are not going to cry forever. Learn how to tap out from that if you need to. And yeah, if it's something ongoing, like if we are talking, because this is a general reading, I am reading energies. Energies can express themselves through a whole variety of situations. So this message might mean a whole bunch of different things for a whole bunch of different people. And so I always like to analyze all the extremes of the spectrum. So this energy can express herself into some more light-hearted events, like, I don't know, I was calling myself out for wanting to maintain a flirty situation, to have some fun in my life, and then having to release that. But that's just random, because that's really not a tragedy. I mean, the universe replaces always. But I also, it's not that I like, but I also feel the need to present other extremes of the spectrum. So this energy might also refer to healing some way more serious and way deeper trauma. Okay, like you might be on the path, on the process to heal stuff that happened even in your childhood, like in the period of time when you don't even remember the names of all the classmates you had. Still, if at no point in time you had the chance to let those emotions out, those emotions are still with you. Even if it's been 20 years, even if it's been 30 years. And this apparently is your lucky and good chance to finally let that shit go. To cut cord with that pain. And you might also want to find rituals to do that can really help. You can research on Google doing cutting cords rituals. I might share information about the topic in future videos, but yeah, I think that so far I've only lightly talked about this on my Instagram, but yeah, that's actually a very interesting topic. Anyway, that can really help you to feel like you are active in your healing process. You are taking that fucking pain in your beautiful hands and you are looking at it and you are saying, this is shit. And it was given to me. And I didn't want that shit being given to me, but now I have it. And I also recognize that I no longer want it. And so I will pack this shit. And I don't know, I'm going to give out a few examples. You can write about it on a piece of paper, set it on fire. You can, I don't know, if you're healing from a broken contract, like a soul contract, or also a practical contract, and you know there's no going back, like you gotta heal from that, yes or yes. You might want to find every residual object, letters, notes that you left around and burn the shit. Yeah, just set it on fire and let the smoke bring away the energy, and then the universe will take care of the rest. But at least you can take control of how the situation affects you internally, because at the end of the day, that is the most important part, because at the end of the day, you are the one who is going to go to bed with you. So if you don't feel okay, then your sleep is going to be shitty, then your dreams are going to be shitty, then your daily intentions are going to be shitty, and it will be just an ongoing cycle of shit. So since you're here, I want to suppose that you would rather be on an ongoing cycle of beautiful things. Therefore, shit needs to return to the ground, be absorbed, and you need to move on as a beautiful light creature that you are. Okay, that was it for group 2. I'm going now to film group 3. Thank you. Alright, group 3. When I first selected the object, which was this blue lighter, I thought it was going to, honestly, I thought it was going to be a message about burning everything down. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on with my group 3, but shit is going down. Not really. I mean, shit is going down, but I'm rather feeling a heavy, dense energy. Like, you, like, okay. I keep hearing this word upside down, upside down, upside down, like everything is upside down. You feel like you are living in the upside down, like you are feeling like you are living in an upside down reality, like you have you have an idea of how your reality should make you feel, and you were expecting to get that feeling from your current reality, but you are not. Not only that, you're getting quite the other feeling. You are like, it talks about feeling abandoned, feeling stuck, feeling bitter, having regrets. Yeah, just drowning in negative emotions. And there's this term that is mentioned in the message that is living life against your heart, against your own heart. Like your heart is asking you for some type of feelings and you are not getting those. You are getting criticism, you are getting betrayals, you are discovering like more and more bad stuff about the people you had put your trust in. You what else? Yeah, like, and it might be because like you really need to do a complete reshuffle of your life, a complete relationship makeover, because some one perspective. Wait a second. I thought Anubis was crying when he was just having a very intense good dream. Like, oh no, wait. No. Sorry, he's having a nightmare. Gotta go for a second. Okay, I'm back. I just had to perform a little dog massage on his belly, reminding him that the street life is gone and now he's basically the prince here. So what I was saying is that like the fact that you are drowning in negative emotions might not even be because you are like a super bad person per se. Quite the other way around. Like you might be surrounded by pretty bad people who are themselves drowning in negative emotions, and apparently misery likes some company instead of doing the fucking work, and are therefore trying to keep you in that circular toxic mentality, where you might progress for a bit and then you start instantly thinking like, this is not going to work out. Why am I even trying? Nobody's appreciating what I'm doing. Why do I even try? Everybody's against me. All I have are enemies. Like, and perhaps it's the truth. I mean, me personally, I had to run away from my hometown. Like, I mean, everybody knows now, but at the time it was like, surprise, I'm still alive, and I was the most surprised of them all. But the thing is that I just got to a point where it was just not sustainable. Like, I know I have all these great ideas, but these ideas will not go anywhere if I keep on talking to the same people who have no ideas of their own, first and foremost. So it's hard to have an exchange. And then who are also not set on this building mentality, like very privileged people, bored people who don't have like much going on in their lives, and therefore all they can do is stir drama, and that's not that's not good for construction, that's not good for growth. Like, imagine you are trying to grow your garden, and then each Wednesday, I don't know, you just invite a bunch of people over, and it's always the same people, and all they want to do is stomp in your garden and tell you how much it's just shit, and that you shouldn't even try with those stupid tomatoes, and yada yada. Now, first and foremost, those people are stupid as fuck, not you, because tomatoes are fucking useful. First, so that was the first disclaimer. But back to the object. I thought it was going to be like you set it on fire, but I don't think that that is the approach that you're being called to have. Rather, to maintain your light lit up in the dark. As long as your light is on, even if it's small, the darkness can't touch you, and that is how you go through. You cannot erase this that is going around you. You can only hope to get to a point where you will be touched by more light, and therefore shielded more and more and more. Okay? But in order to get there, you need to get there. How do we get you there? What was the song? You're getting me through the dark. You're getting me through the dark. I think it was from the movie with the cups. But basically there's these... I really can't remember the title. Whatever. I just know it's really famous, okay? The Bellas, I think it's the group, the girl group that is represented in the movie, and they do a cappella songs, and there is this one song that talks about being like somebody's light into the dark, and so you might want to you might also want to hide that light for a while. And that might break your heart, it says, because there is nothing more that you would like to do than shining that light on everyone. But apparently this is not the time to do so. Like, really not. And even if it might break your heart, like, don't give up. I mean, simply keep on moving. If you can move as fast as you would like to, keep it minimal. Even a small light can do a lot if you work enough to keep it going. If you put at least your part to keep it going. All this darkness around you, you might not even need to know why it's there. You might not even need to know why it has this need to be around you. Like, I'm not going to say don't give a fuck in the term where like you don't even take care of yourself through this very dense period. Like, yes, acknowledge that it's there, acknowledge that it's weighing you down, but also acknowledge that it can be changed. Like, it can't just go away. Like, not right now. It can't disappear just because you want it really bad. This darkness evolved. This darkness got to that point for a reason. And you might have to use different strategies more, or like over and over again, like changing strategies at different time, because this is a very overwhelming energy that I feel like all around. Okay, so it might even come from different various sources, where like everything good that should come in, it comes in as bad. Upside down, upside down, upside down. That's the word that I keep hearing. You're in the upside down now. And there's a reason for that. The reason might be different for each and every one. Like, sometimes it might even be a pre-existing condition. Let's say you have arrived into a new place and there is this very dark energy going around, and you might want to get rid of it for the place's sake, but it's a bit complicated because it's been there for a while, so it has its roots. So if you want to eradicate a darkness that has deep roots, you might also want to learn how to have strong muscles and learn how to dig even where it's scary. Okay. And what else? And yeah, try to not get stuck there. Like the upside down, this upside down moment, the upside down situation is not void, is not anything. There are things, there are people going around, and as long as you make sure that your light is on and protected, you can also be able to learn from this darkness. This darkness, if it's a strong darkness that we are talking about, you can get your inspiration from that strength. Like, if darkness can be so persistent, so can I. If darkness can be so focused, so can I. Also, and that is another message that is coming through, because I was talking about a possible pre-existing condition. Like, you arrived, the situation was fucked over, you did your best, the situation remained fucked over, all you can do is try to get the hell out of there. Another scenario that is coming through is that you are going through darkness also because at some point you might have entertained that. And now I'm triggering you as fuck, right? That's part of the therapeutic journey, so you're welcome as well. And so basically what you are experiencing now are blockages due to the fact that when darkness came knocking at your door, instead of saying, nah, thanks, I'm good, I have my own shit to take care of, I can take care of yours. Like, instead of doing that, you open the door widely and invite the darkness to sit and hanging there for a moment. And so yeah, spirit might be forcing you to experience lack so that you can see that you were watering the wrong flowers. Like spirit is saying, mm-mm. Like I see what you did. You are going to have to first acknowledge what you did. You are going to have to find a way to undo that. And I am therefore not going to bless you with anything until you keep entertaining that, because spirit has not placed this experience for you to keep it, for you to nourish it. The spirit has placed this experience in your life for you to reject that. Sometimes if we have like untreated or not or unconscious trauma can come from very far behind in our past. Life puts us in situations where we are called to stand up for whatever it can be, for our emotions, for our boundaries, for our standards, for things that you believe in, okay? And you have two choices. You can like face the thing head on, or you can crumble under it, and just take whatever comes with it. And so now, if you want to stay in the upside down, I wish you well. But if that's not the case, you might want to work on releasing whatever it is that you have been entertaining from a practical point of view, first and foremost. Then you might have to unpack the unprocessed emotions that brought you to make such choice. Because everything is choice, okay? Like I wake up in the morning, I choose to go to the bathroom or to stay in bed. That is a choice. I meet someone along the way, and that was what I was saying, that a perspective that really helped me go through this period of upside down is to perceive life as a journey, to perceive encounters and experiences as part of a journey. Some are meant to stay, some are meant to be fucking released. And how do you release that? Well, you take accountability. You pay for what you did. You pay for the part that you played in the dynamic, and you try to play a different role. Let's say that you are in a very shitty situation and you didn't really saw it coming, okay? Like what I also see is a very rude awakening, like, oh, so this is what's happening. And having the need to go back, like to reprocess the steps that brought you there, At which point did you say yes where you should have said no? Let's keep on triggering each other, shall we? And okay, I'm going to try to close it because damn, I just want to finish this group. God damn. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Group 3. That was just a little joke to lighten things up because yeah, I'm really feeling this heavy energy. So when did you say yes where you should have said no? And how can you start saying no from this point on? And basically regain your power back, because what I'm seeing is also like a lot of darkness, but it's because your power is being squandered around. Like what you should be putting into your own little fire, you are expecting it from around, and it will be amazing at the end of this very heavy journey when the surrounding will finally respond to you with what you were hoping for. But since this is not the case right now, you cannot keep on expecting a certain result from an environment that does not serve the purpose, first and foremost, and you cannot expect a certain result if you are not firm as fuck when it comes to maintaining your inner fire up and shining. So I wish I could only deliver messages about you're going to be lucky as fuck. I really hope you will, but that really depends on you, and I am also not going to bullshit my group 3 with it's going to be easy, because it's not what is being said. It's heavy, and you kind of gotta learn how to move through heaviness. I mean, also from a metaphysical point of view, okay, if you can feel yourself energetically, you might realize, like you might discover an awareness of you needing to move slower, okay, while you are in this energy. And it doesn't mean that you are not moving, but you are moving way slower than how you would be moving if all your yeses could correspond with like a similar vibration, or being more in alignment or whatever. And yeah, what else? No, that was it. I think I covered all the possible scenarios that were coming through. So even if this is not a super encouraging message, I'm still going to send a personal encouraging message, like there is light after dark. There can be light within darkness, and sometimes even seemingly impossible quests become possible as long as you are willing to be in warrior mode and really see what your strength is made of. Okay, so right now I'm feeling like a coach preparing a champion for a crusade, and that is how you should feel You should feel like a warrior, because this is not going to be easy, and you should take this process as seriously as it needs to be taken. And also, don't be a proud motherfucker. Ask for help at every step of the way. That's okay. I did not go one day without asking for advice from spirit, mostly because, you know, people sometimes. But seriously, I do not go one day without asking for advice, and I have no problem seeing myself as a strong person. I have no problem introducing myself as a strong person, not in an arrogant way, just I'm not going to scare you off, I'm not going to be scared of you either. And that also comes from being always open and always humble enough to ask for help, and to take the time to strengthen up when you don't feel like the most powerful warrior on earth. Like you might, like your spirit might be called to perform a warrior type of mission. Your body might be calling you to fucking chill, so you might want to learn how to balance that. And so yeah, take more time than usual to check in with yourself as well. Not just ask help from others, but also to ask help from yourself. Okay, to take the proper time to rest one task after the other if it's super overwhelming. Like, let's say like you have a project and literally everyone around you is telling you no. But at the same time, how do I say it? Like at the same time, you yourself, you can see a very serious potential for growth, and perhaps you might be the only one at this moment in time. Okay, and yeah, perhaps it really is because you have been investing in bullshit, and so you have to learn how to deal with bullshit. But it may also be because what you are seeing is so far removed from what reality is presenting, that you are currently the only one who can see it. And perhaps people simply cannot follow you because they cannot see your vision. They don't have any material proof to see your vision. So if you were trying to, like, you might have to get rid of some people, but if you are trying to convince other people, you might have to learn how to be strong in yourself first. Like, you have to learn how to manifest without assets. You have to learn how to manifest without validation. You have to learn how to manifest without external encouragement. Yeah, basically on your own. But also know that if you can come up successful from a healing process, and a difficult one even, just know that once that success is achieved, no one can knock you off of that. Okay, so that was it. Wow, super long video today, but that's okay. There are really heavy, intense energies going around, so I'm really starting to see why I was feeling like this need for expressing messages. Okay, thank you. I hope that this helped. I hope that this resonated. If it did, subscribe, like. You can also follow me on other social media platforms. I am going to put all the links that come up to me in the description box. And if you're leaving, wish you all the best. If you are staying from group 4, see you there. Bye. Group 4. Group 4. The queen is back. So, group 4. Alright, so let's be technical first. Group 4, same card as everybody else. Your keyword is this one, the regain strength. Like, you see this guy almost butt naked, lifting a rock like as if it was nothing. That's you. So, you are either healing from something and like discovering new strength. Like, let's say you have been through a whole, like a certain type of situation or a whole bunch of situations that really tested your strength, and you went through it. And you might have a sort of awakening when you're like, fuck, I actually did that. I was not picturing myself doing that until not so long ago, but now I did that. So I am actually stronger than what I thought. Okay, so this is a great moment to get to know yourself better in the best, most glorious possible way. Like, you might also be showing up a little bit, but like in a good way. It's not like you are going all the way out to, I don't know, be in someone's path and show off that you have a new object, a new accessory, or whatever the fuck. You're simply showing up to what you are supposed to be showing up, but and not only as your best self, but as an even better self. Okay? And what I say is that you are doing that in a good way. It's because since you are supposed to be showing up to those things, and you are showing up better and better, this is also benefiting others, because let's say that you are doing a certain type of work, and that you have to coordinate with different people. The fact that you went through the first stress of fuck, and I have to coordinate all of this, now puts you into a position where you're like, okay, so I have to coordinate all of this. How can I do it better? How can I optimize it? So this, I would rather move it there, and you can do it with quite some nonchalance. And so yeah, that's what I was saying, like even showing off a little bit, because it's also good, like always staying humble, always knowing that I mean, you get better to serve, okay? Not to serve any asshole or random motherfuckers out there, but rather serve your purpose, okay? Why you were put on earth in this flesh vehicle, and where are you supposed to drive? And so this is basically that moment where you're like, you know, doing the thing with the car, or with the motorcycle as well. What's the word? like doing acrobatic stuff with your vehicle, okay? And yeah, that is super cool. Another thing that might be going on is that you might be remembering who the fuck you are. Because what happens sometimes is that okay, let's say that you are on a spiritual journey, and what usually happens, especially in today's society, is that you do not start your life on a spiritual journey. You might start your life in a religious community. You might start your life in a seemingly spiritual household or whatever. But what I mean by spiritual journey is not something that is related to a certain physical place or space, or it's more about discovering those key life occurrences where you feel activated, where you feel like, oh, that is for me. Oh, that is my time to shine. Oh, that is actually what I am supposed to be doing. And those moments might arrive at a moment in time where you might not even be aware that that is your spirit calling you. You know, you might, I remember me, I would talk about it like, oh, I've had a crazy experience, and yeah, proceeded therefore to tell said experience. I had a crazy experience, and I reacted in a certain way, which made me feel like really empowered, or which made, and at the same time, like I was doing the right thing. Okay, one marker, emotional marker that you can use to identify those experiences is like a sense of great excitement, like you feel all sparkly about what is going on around you. You feel like you recognize the situation in a good way, that you are going to be able to go left and right accordingly to what is going on and to what your purpose is in the situation. And you might also like act knowing that you are going to be successful, even if success looks like completely out of the way. You know that you are going to be successful, and so you are going to move in a way, like not even in an arrogant way, like, oh, I've already won, whatever. More like, I know that success is there, so I'm going to walk there. I'm not dumb. And I'm going to keep on walking there because that is where success is. And what? And eventually you were successful, and so that is where the feeling of excitement came through. Like, oh my God, I did this amazing thing. I didn't know that I was even capable of doing that. And so you might have had similar experiences in the past, and you simply could not recognize them as your spirit showing you who you are, who the sorry, who the fuck, again, who, no, I don't like it like that. Like that either. But anyway, you got the message. If you want a prettier picture of me with that, go to my Instagram. Right now, fuck you. Who the fuck you are, okay? And so you might be feeling this wave of reminiscing, and also this wave of, oh, right, now it's coming together. Because now it's where I am supposed to act in a certain way. That is me. And so this might also mean overcoming suffering with more ease. Like, remember that at no point in time in those situations everything was already set and perfect for you. It was rather your vision of the situation that allows you to see the obstacles as jumping mushrooms, like in a video game, in order to get to the finish line. It was your way of going through, using all your best assets, and perhaps even casually sleeping some banana skin here and there. And as per usual, I mean, as I usually try to do, I not always manage to do that, but as I usually try to do, I will use, I will give you two main examples. I will give you a more light-hearted example and then a more deeper example, because these are energy readings, so this reading might resonate for you and be applied to a certain situation, and then it might also resonate to someone else on a completely different path and resonate to another type of situation. But so first first example, remember who the fuck you are, meaning that so example from my personal life, and then I swear I'm going to stop making my neighbor famous for being a main shit, but yeah, I really like having my peace, okay, and I don't like having this petty energy around, so I'm kind of expressing this need for him to pack his bags and go back to wherever he came from, and I will tell you why. Because I don't want to sound like a random bitch. So there was this neighbor in the new house where I live, and we were kind of checking if a connection was going to spark. I mean, whatever. I mean, it wasn't even that serious, to be honest. It was just, who are you? What do you do here? And we should probably go wander around sometime. And then I basically caught him doing some pretty petty manipulation stuff in order to get invited in without having to do like some basic seduction effort, let's say, okay? And so this was the dynamic. Like, at first I was like, come on. Like, come on. No, I don't want to have that. I don't want to have that close to home. This is going to be like super whatever. I'm going to finish my days, and there's going to be this fucker pretending like he's having his best life and just making a mess and getting super drunk, and I mean, I've seen some shit in my life, so I was kind of anticipating the worst. But then I was also like, okay, but looking at myself in the mirror and be like, First, I manifested this. That's another story, but I definitely did. So I can definitely manifest something else. And also, how many times have you already seen a guy doing that? Like, do we really need to get over this again, okay? And yeah, like the minute I was honest with myself about what my real opinion about the situation was, I immediately started to heal. And he immediately started to show up with more and more expensive cars. And I'm like, if I'm not even getting right, bro, I really don't give a fuck. And that was the key. Like, that was the healing key. Just telling to myself, okay, but how many times, like, you saw a dude doing that, and it wasn't a tragedy. It really wasn't. It was just them showing you their true colors and showing you that they were not relationship material. So no, there's not even a point into trying to understand why it happened the way it happened. Like, your power is in knowing that you are perfectly capable of getting out of the situation, or even push the situation the fuck out of your zone. Period. And this might also refer to older situations, because like this was like a really lighthearted dynamic, but this might also refer to more serious situations, like, let's say you have a very serious conflict at work or in your household, or you might even have to leave a certain type of situation or achieve a certain type of goal that seems way too ambitious to be achieved. This message is calling you to remember that if you are here now and you have to do that, it's probably because you can. You might not have encountered the exact same people or situations. Someone fell. Hope they're okay. Or like the exact same situation in your past, but from an energetic point of view, you might have had to face something similar, and you also might have been hella victorious doing something similar. Perhaps not as difficult, because if you are on a spiritual journey, you might be noticing that your victories and achievements are not like ending points, but rather leveling up points, okay? And and so you might notice that even if the energetic dynamic is similar, and the intensity is different, the level of difficulty is different, but still, I mean, you might have to relearn how strong your muscles are, but they are. You're also going to learn that they are, and that whatever it is that is looking way too difficult to overcome, it is not. It is not. It is simply an occasion for you to level the fuck up as a human, and to show to the spirit realm and to whoever is supporting you in that dimension that you are actually up to the task, that this opportunity does has been given to you for a reason, and you are the only one who actually knows just how good you can you can be at that, okay? And so now I'm going to give another example, because this way you can train yourself to apply general energetic guidance to specific situations. Okay, that is why I am also like as open as I feel comfortable to be about little stuff that happen or are going on in my life, so that you can see how I connect this energetic information to practical experience, okay? And that is one homework that I can leave you to train your intuitive powers. So before being in this whole beautiful living situation that I'm in currently, I was unfortunately in a very bad relationship, and before that I had to leave an even worse family dynamic. And so I had to kind of be smart and quick on my feet in order to leave the first situation and be in the second, and only to discover that the second was just as bad, if not worse. And I could have crumbled, but that was also a moment where I told myself, okay, if I put all this energy into putting myself into the situation, I am going to be perfectly capable to put just as much energy into putting myself out of the situation. And so this is also a message about really being confident, really believing in your assets, not because you have all the answers, not because someone is shaking your hands or making you sign a contract and telling you that everything is going to be all right, because most of the times that is bullshit, but because you have done that before, you have been successful before, so you might not have 100% certainty, all right? You might have 70% certainty, but that's enough, because at the end of the day, also remember that you're just human, and that whatever crusade, whatever thing that whatever project or accomplishment or battle or anything that you are trying to do is just a drop in the ocean. And we are all concerned with our big, huge, problematic lives, and we really sometimes get lost into details. But that's how do I say it? But you know, those little details are not what actually create the big movements in life. The little details are the things that you do to ground the movement, to confirm thank you, the movement, to make it stable, permanent, whatever you want to call it. What creates the movement are the leap of faith. Now, this is not either a message about, oh, okay, jump into your car and drive until you have gasoline and stop there and see what happens, because sometimes you really don't want to see what happens, first and foremost. But no, this is this is really a message about remembering who the fuck you are, and having faith in the fact that is not gone. That your fire is not gone. That it's like going on a bicycle. You might be a little rusty. You might be feeling a little rusty, like, oh my god, I haven't put out my claws in quite some time. Will I even be capable? Yes. Yes. You are going to remember that you are a tiger when the moment comes. When the moment comes and you start recognizing your signature around the situation, your spiritual signature, you will know. Spirit is also telling that you will know what to do. Okay. I think I'm done. Not done. Also something else. This is also a message about healing. So if you are focused on healing, Spirit is confirming that what you are doing is very good. Continue doing that. And it talks about regenerating a life source completely. Like, if you have taken the time to restore something, it is going to be restored and it is going to be available to be used by you. Okay, that was the last little side message. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I am now going to close this reading. If you want to book a personal reading, it is still possible for now. I will put the reservation link in the description box. And if you want to follow me on other social media, there will be my website. And in my website, you can also find my shops. Like I am partnering with different brands, among which this like Freya Treasure that makes this jewelry that I'm wearing, and more is on the way actually. So if you're curious about that, the link will be in the description box below as well. And if you want to leave a tip of a donation to support the channel, to help me also invest in the channel and make it more and more I want to say functioning. Also I want to say dynamic. Also I want to say fun. Like make it cooler. Okay, I will also put the link down below. Okay, thank you very much. In the meantime, sending you blessings, say your daily Vate Retro, and see you soon.